Hello, I'm Scott Wrighton and I serve as Decatur City Manager. You all know that the pandemic situation has gotten a lot worse. I don't need to tell you that, but I'm going to share some of the details with you just the same. Macon County's positivity rate is now over 17%, and the number of positive cases in Macon County are running 695 per 100,000 population, a new statistical high. Put another way, I remember not too long ago reporting to all of you that about 5% of the population of Macon County had just been tested, with an overwhelming number of these tests being negative, which was a good thing then. Now the number of people who have actually tested positive and have or had the virus is nearly 5% of the total county population. Not a good thing, although the overwhelming number of these have recovered or are recovering. All but 6 of Illinois' 102 counties are now in warning status. For this reason, Governor Pritzker has declared, beginning this Friday morning, November the 20th, that the entire state of Illinois is returning to Tier 3 mitigation protocols. New Tier 3 is slightly different than old Tier 3, so listen carefully. New Tier 3 means no indoor dining and no indoor bar service. Video gaming is suspended. The prohibition on indoor dining and beverage service applies to private clubs, and social gatherings are limited to no more than 10 persons. There are a few differences from the Tier 3 mitigations that we all experienced in the spring. Salons, barbershops, massage therapies, gyms, and fitness facilities can now all remain open, but they cannot have indoor classes, and they must operate at no more than 25% of capacity. Meetings of churches and other religious organizations can continue, but under the guidance of separately issued rules developed for churches by the Illinois Department of Public Health. Outdoor activities are allowed, but no large groups. Retail establishments can remain open, but with capacity limits. And retailers will increasingly be required to insist that patrons wear masks or leave. To our many Decatur businesses, it's okay if you want to say that the state and local governments are making you follow these protocols and that we're making your customers wear these masks. It's fine. Make us the bad guy if that's easier. Whatever works to achieve compliance. Throughout this pandemic, the city of Decatur has restrained itself from over-regulating, believing instead in the ability of our citizens and businesses to make the right choices and to do the right things to keep workers and customers safe. Since August, we have only responded to complaints of protocol violations. And there has been a high degree of voluntary compliance with these simple safety protocols. And so we want you to know that we're thankful for that. But it's not been enough. And the skyrocketing infection rates we have prove it. So, with great reluctance, the City Council recently enacted a limited mask ordinance. We've already started monitoring visits to businesses. The new ordinance is limited because it only is being enforced indoors, not everywhere in town. Limited because police and other officers will usually seek compliance with the rules before writing any citations. Limited because we will seek shutdown orders only where the establishments are operating with a city liquor or amusement license, referring others to the county health department. Limited because the mask ordinance provides exceptions for persons with special medical conditions and disabilities, and limited because it does not pertain to any activities inside one's private residence, though we will certainly disperse large outside groups as we observe them. Who you invite to your Thanksgiving and other holiday events is your business. It is not the government's business. Nevertheless, we still hope you will be cautious and prudent because we want everyone to be safe. I agree with those who believe in limited government, but these actions in the form of a mask ordinance are not a violation of the Constitution any more than seatbelt laws are a violation of the Constitution. Our U.S. Constitution prescribes limited powers to the federal government and then delegates broad discretion for the maintenance of public order, public safety, and public welfare to the states. Governors can decide what is best for their states within legal parameters set by each state. We are witnessing different strategies by different states. It is true that compared to some other states, the state of Illinois has chosen a more regulatory and top-down enforcement approach. But that is the governor's prerogative in our federal system. This state autonomy is how our country has operated for 233 years. Attempts at challenging the governor's authority in Illinois so far have not been successful, and earlier this week, a Sangamon County court upheld the county health department's authority to close 5 restaurants that refused to close and fine each of them $500. We still have lots of choices. If you don't like a business's rules for entry or for service, you can choose not to enter. Are the rules devised by state and local governments to meet this threat perfect? No. But they are a reasonable strategy to keep our citizens safe and depress the infection rates moving forward. Based on contact tracing data, gatherings of unrelated persons in private residences, workplace exposures, and other large gatherings are the largest hotspots for infection, slightly ahead of bar and restaurant exposures. So please, do your part to help us make these protocols and their implementation as universal as possible throughout Macon County. Beginning next month, Crossing Healthcare will end service at the Civic Center for testing and move their testing facilities to an indoor drive-through location, especially important since we're moving into cold weather. Beginning this Saturday, November 21st, and continuing through December 20th, the Illinois Department of Public Health will operate their local testing facility in the parking lot of the Decatur Civic Center 7 days a week from 8 until 4 p.m. Let me say that again. From November 21st to December 20th, testing will be available 8 to 4, 7 days a week, every single day except for Thanksgiving Day. The City Council has confidence that Decatur and Macon County can come together to solve this dilemma, despite the deeply divided political environment we now live in, and choose to act in the best interests of the larger community. So thank you for doing your part.